Yes, people, what is good? It's Tapping Tobes here. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm here to talk to you about Thomas Frank. Thomas the Frank Engine, as people are calling him on Twitter. Not me, people are calling him that on Twitter. I'm seeing all these gifs, all these pics, but it means one thing. We heard the Fabrizio Bomba, the club announcement has happened, right? Thomas Frank is the new Tottenham Hotspur manager. Listen, how do I feel about that? I'm calm. I'm ready. Bring it on. Honestly, bring it on. Would I have gone to Thomas Frank as my first pick? No. I've spoken openly about maybe not wanting Thomas Frank. In fact, definitely not wanting Thomas Frank. Not because he's a bad manager, but because he's not known for that sort of offensive footballing style, right? But he's a good manager. He's a good manager, and at the heart of it, that's what we need. And the second thing I told myself is this. Listen, you got Big Steve going on in the background, and you got that pussy or Turkish as well. But let's get back on topic here, because these are distracting me. Thomas Frank, is he a good manager? Yes. Does he improve Tottenham? Yes. Is he going to perform better than Ange Postecoglou? Yes. Right? I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter today about his ceiling. Listen, just because he's not everyone's preferred choice, everyone, because some people want Thomas Frank, some people are excited about Thomas Frank, right? Some people are excited, some people are not so excited. Some people think that it wasn't an ambitious move, and I can understand that. I get that. A manager who's probably played an equal number of games defensive as he has been offensive, or mid block or low block. I get it. When you look at his time in the Premier League, he's not known for an offensive style. He's not. He isn't known for an offensive style. And we're trying to shift towards managers who can play an offensive style. But in the end of the day, a good coach is a good coach. And a bad coach is a bad coach. And I don't want to talk about his previous or his predecessor, right? I'm not going to try and make the video all about him, because I've just released a video about Ange. But we just have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be frank. We have to be frank with each other and let it be known. And just look at the facts. The fact of the matter is this: whatever you think of Thomas Frank, whatever doubts I have on Thomas Frank, which I'll touch on later on, in the end of the day, he has performed miracles with this Brentford team. He has. And at the heart of it, right, we're getting a coach who's sensible. Yeah? And what I mean by sensible is, you know when you need to crank it up a notch and really go for the jugular. But you also know when you need to sort of switch things up, not just before the game, but during the game itself. You know that a winger who thrives on playing on the inside, you'll play him on the inside. You know that a centre-back who wants to be played 20 yards deeper can be played 20 yards deeper. What I'm saying is we look like we have a manager who's going to actually accommodate for all shapes and sizes, for all features, for all strengths, for all weaknesses. He's going to accommodate for this. And that's one thing we've seen at Brentford. Whether you like his football or not, whether you look at this as like a sideways appointment, in the end of the day, from a coaching point of view, tactics, emotional intelligence, in-game management, squad utilization, like, he ticks a lot of these boxes. And he's shown enough in the Premier League to at least have some sort of backing, have some sort of support. And that's going to be the most important thing. Not just from us, right? It's important from, well, I mean, I'm not speaking for all Spurs fans, I'm speaking for myself. But I think he will need backing from Spurs fans, right? But most importantly, he's going to need backing from the club. He's going to need backing for the club. But if I focus on this season just gone. So Thomas Frank, I was actually asked would I take him 2 seasons ago when we were in the looking for a manager before we signed Ange, and I was initially open to him. I said, yeah, I'll take Thomas Frank. Then I changed my mind, because at that point I wasn't really happy with the brand of football I've seen. Like, I wasn't really happy. I felt like too many games Brentford would go direct, too many games they'd park the bus. But the more I've watched him, the more I've seen that he can switch it up. Like, I've seen them really, really take the game to teams at home, right? The big test for me is whether he can do that with us, whether he can do that against the likes of a Man City, a Chelsea, an Arsenal, right? because you're no longer going to be at Brentford. You're going to be at Tottenham Hotspur, where the expectation is, even when we're playing teams superior to us but are in the Big Six and we're playing at home, we're expected to go for the game. And I think those are where my doubts stemmed from. Can we take a manager who's been known for like a conservative style / defensive style to a manager who's going to be a protagonist, or who's going to have to be a protagonist, because a lot of the fans are going to demand that you be a protagonist, you play on the front foot. But then again, I'm like, we say we want this, I want this, I want to see good football, but I also want to see oh God, this cat is coming close to me, isn't it? This cat's coming close to me, isn't it? Yeah. But I also want to see a manager who can tweak it, who doesn't do crazy things, who doesn't just think that there's one way of playing and just defaults to that way of playing no matter who, plug and play. That's not what I want to see. I want to see a manager who caters for, again, all shapes and sizes, all types of opponents, all types of players, who actually assesses the game that is in front of them and does what it takes to win. Because I'll tell you this for free, right? As much as I want to see really, really good, aggressive, front-footed football, I don't mind Spurs mixing it up. Sustainability is key for me. And a manager who can give us sustainability, in my opinion, is a manager worth getting behind. And if there's one thing you can say about Thomas Frank, right, in his time for Brentford in the Prem, he's made them sustainable. And then if I even go back to the recent season just gone, right, we've seen Brentford, who have scored more goals than the offensive-minded Tottenham. They scored more goals than us this season. And then we've seen Brentford, defensive, okay, they conceded less goals than Tottenham. They conceded something like 57 goals, less than we did. And this is meant to be Brentford, who spend a fraction of what we spend on players, who try to go for some of the players that we've got. He tried to go for Johnson. He tried to go for Archie Gray. So for me, it's one of them ones where it's like, you know what? You're not my preferred choice, but you're a good enough manager in your own right where I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and I'm going to get behind it. I'm going to get behind it because outside of the play style, I don't really think this manager has given me much to go against the appointment. He hasn't. And if I look at the things that we suffer with, players, square pegs and round holes, not being able to flex. I've seen him play a back three. I've seen him play a back two. I've seen players flourish. I've seen him utilize the squad and get the most out of certain players, even when he doesn't have his best available 11. He lost Ivan Toney in the summer, and he lost his replacement. Did you see him moaning to the press every week? He got on with it. Wissa, 19 goals. 19 non-penalty goals in his system. Mbeumo, 20 Premier League goals. Before that, Mbeumo scored double figures last season. Wissa scored double figures last season. Right? Before that, and that was when Ivan Toney was suspended. So this is 2 successive seasons where he's still been able to get something out of his attack. And that's important to me. That's important to me. We've got Solanke on 9 goals. Brennan Johnson's our top goal scorer on 11 Premier League goals. Bro, something needs to give. And at the very least, we have an attacker, or we have a manager, who's going to actually get the best out of our attackers. Get the best out of our midfielders. You look at Damsgaard hooping. A number 10 actually being able to do number 10 things. Imagine what he could do with Maddison. Imagine what he could do with Kulusevski. I'm seeing Sade on double figures, bro. So, yeah. There's doubts. There's reservations. Can you be the protagonist consistently? Can you take the... Where's this cat? Can you take the jump up? Because it's like you've only managed, as far as England is concerned, you've managed Brentford in the Championship and then Brentford in the Premier League. So it's a big step up. It is. It's a big step up to one of the biggest clubs in England. Can you manage that pressure? Can you manage that expectation? Can you manage juggling multiple competitions? Remains to be seen. But we know, I know anyway, that he is a good enough coach to come in and make more out of this squad. Simple. Simple. And that's all that matters to me. Can you get the most out of this squad? If the answer is yes, calm. Happy days. Happy days. And that's just where I'm at with it. So for me, Thomas Frank, welcome to Tottenham Hotspur. I wish you all the best. We're going to get behind you. But most importantly, Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy, I'm talking to you. You better better not fail another manager at this club, right? You have paid £10 million. You've paid £10 million in compensation for this manager. You were able to stump up money out of your pocket to pay for the manager to come to Tottenham, right? Before his job's even started, yeah? Now, give him the pieces he needs. We've got a decent squad. We've got some good players, a lot of good players. Now sprinkle the magic dust. Give him that extra defender. Give him that midfielder. Give him those attackers. Give him some star quality, please. We ain't playing in no Mickey Mouse competitions. We're playing Champions League football, Premier League football, League Cup football, FA Cup football. We've got Super Cup in August. That's 5 competitions. I want to see 5 starters at the club next season. 5. The ball is in your court. Stay blessed.
Meow meow.
No, I thought you were saying it because